The video I did about why so many millennials and Gen Zs are becoming interested in off-grid living and homesteading had an almost overwhelming response. But then something weird happened. My FYP was inundated with videos from other creators saying how hard it is, how expensive it is, and warning people using what I call discouraging encouragement. But because literally no person in history has ever changed their mind by being bludgeoned over the head with someone else's truth, it got me thinking. So let's talk about it. I can remember a time when I was in a very bad place, and if something didn't change, well, it was really bad. So I went to a friend and a mentor to try and get some help. Usually he would just sit there and listen. But on this occasion, he told me a story and it stuck with me. So I hope it sticks with you too. He told me a story about a time he walked into a burger joint, and right when he got to the door, all balled up in the corner, was a homeless gentleman. Him being a compassionate guy, wanted to do something to help him. So he walked inside, he ordered his food, and he also ordered an extra meal. He walked back outside and he handed the bag to the guy, and the guy looked at him confused and almost angry and said, "I'm not hungry." My friend was sort of taken aback by it, but he said, okay, took the bag back and started to walk away. But when he got to his car, he felt like he just had to know why his help wasn't accepted. So he walked back over to the guy and he said, "I don't really want to give you any money, but you look like you could use some help. So what could you use help with?" The guy, sort of stunned, looked down, thought for a minute, and then looked back up at my friend and said, "Socks. I could really use some socks." My friend was like, "Socks? Sure, let's get you some socks." There was a store right there. They walked in, got him a whole bag of socks. When they walked outside, the guy peeled off his shoes, his feet bruised and blistered, and he put on a brand new, clean pair of socks. My buddy told me the guy did a little dance around, big old broken smile, happy as a clam. But the thing about the story that he told that got me was when he said thank you, he also said, "I finally feel human again." Now this is just speculation, but I'd assume that it had less to do with the socks and more to do with the fact that he'd been seen and heard for the first time in a long time. So then my friend looked at me and he says, "So?" Now, I've taken a lot of lessons from this story over the years, but in the context of our conversation here, I think the one that's the most applicable is that helping somebody from your viewpoint and helping somebody from their viewpoint are two very different things, and they create two very different results. I talk about off-grid living and homesteading in these videos, and if that life is something that you want to create for yourself, I want to help. But I'm also totally aware that you've probably been offered help in the past that didn't end up being that. Hell, most of the things you were told that would ensure that you would create a happy and successful life, but ended you up where you're at, were probably somebody's idea of help. You may even question whether or not help is even possible. So I guess what I want to know in the comments is, what would be your socks? What would be help from your viewpoint? Carrie and I are going to be going live here in about an hour or so, so if when you see this video, the little live thing over there is blinking, come hang out with us, ask your questions, and we'll do our best to help you with what you want to know. Looked down, thought for a minute, and then looked back up at my friend and said, "You've heard this one before, haven't you?"